Hey everyone, this is Rangadad. Not financial advice, just the way I look at the market. This is just my daily market scan. Um, Hopefully, it'll be a quick video today. There's not much that's really changed over the last couple of days, and it is obviously inauguration day in the US later, so or tomorrow their time. Bitcoin is kind of looking like it does want to actually break to the upside there. So let's get into it. Basically, on the daily, those that have watched this stuff for a while will know that we don't like shorting dull markets. And this is starting to look like a dull market. Just that general grind up and to the right on Bitcoin is really hard to short. Like, you got to be in and out quickly if you're going to do it. And this is certainly one of those times. And there's a couple of things from a liquidity perspective that are aligning at the moment, along with pivots. So the key level is this trend line through here. If we break above that, I do think we may actually get at least into the 110. We may get a little pullback after that, but there's a lot of liquidity sitting around 115. So, and then once you get up into those areas, there's a lot of sellers that can come in, and then that can actually drive the price a little bit higher as well. So they're kind of the upside targets I'm looking at. Like the 115 looks really juicy at the moment. If we clear this, then I would expect that to be done pretty easy. 120 may be a push, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with Trump and that. But for the time being, like, we haven't retested this downward channel. Some may say that that was the retest. The channel's through here, and this little red candle was enough of a retest. And to be honest, they'd probably be right. But yeah, definitely breaking through this one seems to be critical. Just looking at that on the shorter time frames, so there is a little trend line to the downside as well. So sorry, I'll just turn this off. Easier to see. This is actually getting pretty close. We have sort of tested this trend line quite a bit recently, but realistically, that is actually, it's looking like this long. And funny thing is, with this strategy, I'm still kind of working on it a little bit because this entry 16 rules still not great in terms of hit rate. But if I take them out, I lose about 20-30% on the returns over 6 months. So they're a little bit of the riskier ones. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a drawdown here, but this one looks like it may come to fruition. Especially if we get decent volume on this candle and it closes above there. So that's, anyway, downside trend line is critical. If we break below that, then it's probably going to sweep these lows at least back down around the 102, but I would expect it to probably come back down into the 100K level, somewhere around 100,000, 100. It'll probably tap 100,000 just to freak people out. There is the 1 hour 200 EMAs down around that level as well. But at the moment, we got the 1 hour 50 below. It did bounce off that. So overall, it's still looking quite strong. And Longs still haven't dropped off or anything, so upside is still to be expected, I think. Just for the record, if we hit this trend line today, it's going to be around the 106,600. This is another good sign as well. So if not only have we sort of retested that once, which gives us, if we do break out the next time, it more likelihood that it's the real one. Cyclic RSI is still in the bullish control zone. It's still a little elevated for my liking, but it can certainly keep running in this area for a while. The next pivot to the upside is 115,400. So just from a pivot perspective, we've sort of reconfirmed that as support. If we hit that next pivot, that's actually going to basically take out a lot of the liquidity to the upside. And if we go over to the heat map, you'll see here, looking at it on sort of a 2-week time frame, there is a good chunk of liquidity above, and it looks like it wants to take that. So we're talking at least 107,400 there. That'll get us very close to the all-time high. It wouldn't surprise me if we push through on this run. There's a little bit of a gap in liquidity there, but there's probably enough for it to go into. It's a similar sort of level as what we've got below here. So I kind of would expect that to keep going to the upside. And as you can see, 115, there is a bit of a gap after 115, but I would expect by the time we're getting up there, you're going to have a lot of sell orders coming into the charts. And it may actually sweep up into that level there, the 116.5. From there, 120 is a stone throws away. Stone throw away. So, look, that's entirely possible. At that point, I would be expecting some decent pullback, and your pullback area is probably going to be back into this upward trend line here, because that trend line actually ties together the two, the peak of the last run up. This other one here actually goes back to this was actually the peak of the proper bull run last time. We got higher here, but that was off the back of just the monetary policy and just massive amount of cash in the economy, and retail was all in at that stage. So that drove it a little bit higher. But if you look at all the on-chain data and all the trading indicators were that this was actually the technical high. So that's another key level. And lo and behold, they're coming in together on about 12th of Jan. So they've actually already come together. So I think a pullback into, let's just draw it. Sorry, stuffing around. So if we do sort of rip some shorts to the upside, we get up into the 116, potentially even higher into the 120s. The pullback into these levels is sort of going to be the critical levels. That's where we may see quick drops into these levels, and then further upside. It's going to depend a lot on what Trump does, to be honest. But we'll see how that goes. There's a little bit of action to happen before then. So the thing we don't want to see is actually this hitting the new all-time high and hitting these levels and rejecting off as Trump announces his plans and stuff. It could be a sell the event situation, but at the moment there's enough BBWP upside, there's enough momentum to the upside that it should theoretically keep going, barring anything black swan sort of related. So yeah, key levels. When looking at targets a decent distance away, I do find that this Model 3 is quite good because they actually cover a bigger area to the upside and downside than what the other charts do. So just keep that in mind. If we come into, let's say, the 48-hour time frame, you can see there is a bit of liquidity to the downside, but it's currently just sweeping into this one. So at 106,400 is probably a pretty good target. But yeah, as I said, I think it'll potentially go a little bit higher than that. We may get a bounce though, because that 106 area is pretty well where you're going to hit that trend line, 106,400. So just be careful around that. Yeah, long-term holders, I think I'd be holding a little bit longer still. All right, looking at the super charts, there's been a lot of red. So these guys are just getting wiped out, the ones that are selling, if they're selling on leverage. Otherwise, it's just lots of people taking profits. Open interest is actually dropping off a little bit. Again, I think it's just people taking profits, or there's just the shorts are getting wiped out. So open interest is not directional. Good sign here, uptick in CVD on both. I thought I'd change that. I did actually. This isn't necessarily leverage. Sorry. Obviously didn't save my chart when I did that last time. So yeah, aggregated futures CVD is jumping quite a lot, so that's good. We've nearly already got 106,400. It looks like a pretty high conviction move there. Funding rates are getting quite high compared to normal. They're getting close to the levels, like, okay. It's close to the level here when we broke out to the upside on that last move. Yeah, interesting. The funding rate's going up significantly. Actually, seems to indicate that this could be a decent move to the upside. It's based on comparisons to previous. CoinAnk looking pretty similar. Again, CVD's jumping. It's good. Open interest is similar. Certainly haven't got a topping signal here. Yeah. Just have a quick look at. So, again, there is a few orders down here around that 15-minute 800 EMA, 1 hour 200 EMA. But for the time being, it looks like it wants to come up into these sort of areas. There's reasonable amount of selling orders up there too. So 17 million, 6, 17, 21. Yeah. Looks like we're going up. at this stage. Sentiment trader. So smart money is still offloading a little bit on the latest rise on S&P 500. So be a little bit careful there. But we may see a slight pullback the first day. The thing that concerns me a little bit, and look, these guys that are in these ETFs, like Coinbase and IBIT, all those sort of things, the ones that are actually trading them actively rather than just buying and holding, they will sell on the way up. The thing is, we got a bit of a cluster here at the highs. Hopefully, it's just them taking profits, and the rest of the market there's plenty of interest to keep driving this higher. Because yeah, there was a fair bit of action on the dark pools. They don't even necessarily have to be sells, but just after a big run up like that, and you get a decent amount of sells, like 29th largest on the 2x long Coinbase, you start to be a little cautious that there may be a decent pullback coming. But as you can see here on Coinbase itself, you know, same sort of thing, big trade at the highs, but they were sort of selling all the way up by the look of this. Either that or they're buying all the way up. IBIT was very similar. So the fifth largest trade happened on Friday on IBIT, right at the highs there. But we had some pretty decent trades here too, which saw the market jump. So just got to be careful. If we start to see like proper turnaround pullbacks at key levels, then it's a sign that we're probably going to go down a little bit harder. For the time being, though, let's just hope these guys are just taking profits and thing continues to run. The talk of the town, Trump coin. Apparently, it's an official meme coin. Trump. This dude just loves making money, doesn't he? That's actually not looking like a great top there. So those that want to jump in thinking this is going to 100 billion market cap, it's already at 13 billion. That's pretty massive for a meme coin. Yeah, I certainly would be buying here. That's just me though. I'm a little bit more reserved these days. All right. Quick one on so the Friday markets. That's a good breakout for the equal weight Nasdaq. Finally, sort of got that come through. Yeah, this is sort of the area that we're going to be a little bit concerned about a short-term pullback. But if we do pull back and bounce off either one of these levels over the first couple of days, then it should be okay. The thing is, the market's not open while Trump is being inaugurated. On the normal stock market, as far as I can tell, the futures are actually open from 10 a.m. today. Let's just go in. So that typically the next candle says Monday 10 a.m. my time, which is in a couple of hours, 3 hours. So that's going to be interesting. Be worthwhile watching the futures today just to see what happens. But on the 15-minute, it looks like it's primed for more upside. You never tell once it opens, though. So RSP, yeah. So these ones don't open till Yeah, tomorrow night my time. So equal weight S&P 500. It's kind of in no man's land where it is now. It's recovered these vectors for the most part. Probably got a little bit to go, but that is suggesting decent move for the upside. Advanced decline line, definitely. Advanced decline line moving like that is suggesting further upside. IWM's still not breaking out, but I would expect that to follow at some stage soon. XLI, decent move. Like, again, some of these to pull back a little bit and then go again would make some sense. So the first week could be a little choppy, or it could be something in earnings that drives the pullback. But for the time being, it's not looking like that any pullback would actually be for a long period of time. Just be to wipe out some of the longs in the system. Oops. No major signals on any of them. Regional banking's kind of hovering at a key level. Want to see that move to the upside. Home builders, it's all looking reasonably positive. Semis is moving up. It should actually keep going. We should break this level just based on momentum and BBWP. DJI gold is looking okay. DJT gold's not looking great. Yeah. Transport's the key one. So you want transport to actually bounce reasonably hard if you're looking at a long-term recovery of the economy. Skewed down slightly on Friday, so that could suggest a little sideways day or down day even on Tuesday, but it's probably more like a pause and wait to see what happens in the futures. One-day VIX as well. It has broken below this line, so that's a good sign. If that keeps coming down, then it's a good sign the market will keep going up. It's just a matter of whether we get sort of a really strong push down and then a bounce up, and then you're probably looking at a local top. Japanese market had a good day. German market was looking strong. Mentioned that the other day. Chinese market, yeah. TLT. Just have a quick look at the Dixie. So Dixie still looks like bouncing. I think we covered these the other day. A lot of things are coming in at key levels here. So oil, Dixie, gold is sort of rejected off a key level. If the market finds whatever Trump comes out with as positive, you would expect these to break through these key levels to the upside. Oil may actually break to the downside, but again, I don't see it coming much further down than here. All right, I think that's about it. There's pretty decent breadth. We have broken that trend line on BTC as well, so on stables versus BTC. It is getting overextended to the downside though, but as you can see, it can keep pushing quite a lot. People are shorting ETH. Wow. I think people are starting to realize that ETH just doesn't have the interest anymore and are moving out of it. Yeah, it's breaking new lows on ETH versus BTC. Dominance is low. BTC dominance is pushing a little bit, but yeah, Ethereum needs to push hard and get through these trend lines. If it doesn't, then it's probably coming back down quite substantially. The other thing, so CME isn't due to open with Bitcoin until Tuesday US time, I believe. Hang on. Oh no, this morning. So 3 hours or so, CME is going to open, and the CME price at the moment is lower than what spot price is on the other exchanges. So we will gap up potentially. That a gap up doesn't have to be filled straight away. You know, we gapped up here, we still haven't filled that one. So don't worry too much about that, but it will be a key target if we do start pulling back from this resistance level. All right. We've hit that again and pulled back a little bit. What's the high there? The high 106,396. That's close enough to the 106,400. And Solana has broken out as well. So Solana still hasn't hit all-time highs from memory. For the monthly. Sorry. Oh, we have hit all-time highs. Yeah, right. So that's a good sign. Solana in price discovery. A lot of volume coming through. Well, supposedly just based on the Trump meme coin, but Solana was, had a pretty good momentum and BBWP signature for a while. Big pullback there though. It didn't hit 300 like a lot of people probably expected, but there is still a potential to do so. I don't know whether it will hold the 300 level, but yeah, the fact that we've broken out the all-time high, a retest of that, and a move to the upside would be pretty good for Solana. XRP is having a bit of a pause, but again, it pull back into even $2.75 is still bullish in my opinion. But be worthwhile taking some profit on the way up this time on all these coins. I think if Bitcoin starts rejecting off 115 or 120 or even 110, taking some profit off the table is going to be a good idea. A lot of the other coins not going along with Solana at the moment. Solana's the Ondo, good signal on Ondo actually. That should continue the upside. But again, it's the rotation into memes isn't huge in this cycle. Like we are in the bull run. We're not waiting for the bull run to start. We are in a bull run and the cyclic moves just aren't like they were when retail was in the 2021 bull. Anyway, that'll do for today. Okay.